How's it going, everyone? So this is sort of a different kind of video. So I'm still going to be talking about programming, but the main idea of this entire video is to help you guys get better at programming. So I have 5 tips that I want to go over. Definitely master the basics of programming. So whether it comes to syntax or conditional statements or basic loops and stuff, you want to make sure that you have those down. If you don't, the more complicated things, the more things that you learn in the future will be a lot more difficult to grasp or comprehend. So you want to master these things so that you can have a solid foundation and prepare yourself for the next level. This is by far one of the most important tips that I can give you, because I know a lot of programmers who completely forget how to declare an array or how to make a function. Like, these kind of things are very simple, and they don't know what the difference between a static or a public void is, or a private is. So you must know these things in order to be more efficient at programming. So number 2 is engage in programs and competitions. So some of you guys might be in high school or university. So you want to reach out to the people in your school and you want to ask them if there are any possible coding competitions or programs or clubs that you can join. And these will strengthen your foundation on programming, because the more practice you get, the better you will be in programming. So there are many universities and colleges and high schools and even middle schools that allow students who want to pursue a degree in programming or who want to do something computer programming related to practice programming, such as competitions or actual clubs. And you can join these clubs to further enhance your programming skills. So number 3, of course, is practice practical coding questions. So I have a whole bunch of these coding questions that I cover in my channel, and these range from small little programs like the Fibonacci sequence all the way up until like very complicated types of questions that you might get asked during an interview. So data structures and algorithms, like, you want to practice these. It doesn't help to just review or to look at code. It helps to actually do and apply your knowledge, or else you're just going to be wasting your time. I can look at code all day, I can read books on coding, but if I don't practice this, if I don't write out code, then it's completely useless. Number 4 is review every day and practice. So this is probably the most important when it comes to anything, really, and it's no different for programming. If you want to get better at programming, you must practice daily. If I gave you a time frame of 2 months to prepare for an interview for one of the high-end tech companies, in just 2 months, practicing, let's say, for 2 hours a day, will almost for sure prepare you for these technical coding interview questions. That's around 120 hours, which is not a lot, to be honest. It may seem like a lot, but it really isn't in the whole grand scheme of things. 120 hours to increase your chances of getting into one of these companies substantially will go a very long way in the future. So definitely practice as much as you can. Practice day in and day out. Don't just stick to just 2 hours. Try to get 3 or 4. Be ahead of the competition. Practice, 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 because practice makes perfect. 5th tip that I can give you is look at other people's code. So when you look at other people's code, you can start, it triggers your critical thinking skills and your creativity. If you see someone's solution, it might help you figure out how to solve one of your problems on your own, or it might give you an idea, or you might think of a more efficient way to tackle that task, or to find a solution to that program. And this itself is a very good way to practice programming. And also, You don't want to just program on the computer. And now you might be asking, then where do I program? You want to get out a pen and paper and or even a whiteboard or a chalkboard, and you want to write out your code. The reason why is because this will help you remember syntaxes or remember how things are formatted or written. And when you're writing on a computer, you're going to have like autofills where if you press tab, the entire line might come up. I know a lot of people who, if I ask them to um, write out the code to print out hello world, they will struggle. They will write system.out.print with a capital P or something, or they might forget a semicolon. And this is bad coding habits. This is bad practice. If you can write down all the details and everything perfectly onto pen and paper, then you can rest assured that you know how to write the program, and you can for sure write the program on a computer. So these are the very basic things that you must do in order to get better at programming. It's not difficult. It might seem difficult at first, but be persistent and just keep on going. Just fight through it, because when I started Java, I saw all these braces, I saw all these functions and things like that, and it took me a few days to understand how to run my program. So that itself can be very frustrating. So don't sweat it. It's honestly very worth it, and seeing your solution and getting your program to finally work in the end is super, super satisfying. So before I end this video, I'm going to go over a few things that really helped me out during my coding journey. So right here, I have LeetCode. LeetCode is a place where you can talk to people about programming, you can have discussions and find out different ways to solve a specific problem. Here you can start discussions, you can share interview questions, you can practice interview questions. There's a whole bunch of things, and this is a very good place to practice your algorithms and data structures. So here it ranges from very easy problems all the way to the hardest algorithmic and data structures questions. So once you guys sign up, if you hit problems, there will be hundreds and hundreds of questions, and you can sort them out by database questions. You can find algorithms, easy, medium, hard. It tells you how many you've solved, how many you've attempted, and how many there's left to do. You can look at the top questions that you'll find in Google, Facebook, Amazon, all these different companies. So you can click on them and see what kind of questions they ask. So there is a premium version and there's a free version. So once you get a premium version, you can unlock the locked questions. And no, this isn't a sponsorship, or I'm not asking you guys to buy this through any referral. I'm just saying this is a very good place to start. So here you'll have your solutions and the rate of acceptances. So this is how many times people have entered their solution and the percentage that they get it right on the first time. So it ranges from the easiest all the way up into the hardest. And once you solve your questions, say for example this Fibonacci sequence that I did, it will ask you the question and you write your solution here, and you have the luxury of programming it in any language that you want. And then you can submit it and see if it's a good solution, if it's a bad solution, what you can improve on, what the space complexity is, what the time complexity is, and you can see other people's solutions. So another place that I highly recommend is if you don't want to download an IDE for yourself, you can go on ripple.it and you can start programming it in Java. This is completely free. So as soon as you load something up, let's say for example this linked list folder that I have, you can organize them, you can change the background, just do a whole bunch of things, and you can start programming right away. So these two things are very useful, and I highly recommend you use them when you're programming. So I really hope this video was helpful. If it was, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.